Okay, so I'm going to show you what I've been doing here with my tires. These are some old Bontrager mud tires. Put some screws in here, some going from the outside in and some going from the inside out. I don't know if the focus is really going to show this too well, but you can see the way they are. So this would be the rear tire, I think, is what I figured, because those ones there would be more flat. This would only work with tubeless because you've got actual screw points pointing through that would pop a tube. And I did run these tires tubeless and it worked. And then this would be the front. It just has spikes. They're all coming from the inside out. The ones on the outside are longer and the ones on the inside knobs are shorter. I had 1/2 inch ones on the outside and I think 3/8 inch ones on the inside. They're number 6 wood screws, I think. So that's what I did before with a 29er. What I'm going to do today is work on a Fatbike tire. I've already got some 1/2 inch screws in there, you can see, and on these ones I nipped the ends off with wire cutters to make them not so sharp on the tip, because these are really close to the center of the tire and I figured they didn't want to be sticking out quite as much. So first thing I'm going to do is take the tire out apart, let the air out. I'm going to pause the video for a minute because this will take some time. Okay, so on those Bontrager tires, they were designed to be tubeless only because some of the screws were sticking from the outside in. On these Fatbike tires, I am all the screws are going to go from the inside out. So the theory is I will be able to use a tube and try to get this tire off. Sheesh. So you can see I've got a tube in there now. Here's the tire. And inside you can see a bunch of gray tape. That's duct tape that I put over the heads of the screws that I've already put in there. Theory is to prevent the tube from getting punctured. I'm gonna, this time, that's some pretty thin tape. I'm gonna use some Gorilla tape on these new ones because I think this tape is thicker and it'll do a better job protecting the tube from getting punctured. So these are the screws. I've got little, this is a 1/2 inch screw and these are the 3/8 inch screws. I'm just going to use the 1/2 inch screws because they seem to be the ones that work with this setup. Oh, I forgot, I needed a piece of wood. Okay, so here we go. So what I've been doing is I take the tire and I put it down on the piece of wood and kind of fold it to where I want. Of course, you're just making a pattern here, and I'm just realizing something about what I was planning on doing. I was thinking of going to this knob just adjacent to the one I have, but now I'm seeing another knob that's bigger. And I think I'm going to hit that bigger knob. So anyway, you put the knob you intend to do, and I think you could use a awl for this as well. It'd probably be easier. But I've just been using a nail that's just a regular little nail, and put it on the stud or the knob that you want to put the stud in. Kind of center it. It'd be nice if you had more light than this. And then pound it through. You can see this is a really time-consuming process. So that just came through the tire right about where my thumb's at. I'm not sure if you can see it, but there is a nail sticking through there. So now I take the 1/2" screw, and fortunately my magnetic tip screwdriver, because otherwise you'd need 3 hands. You got one hand behind the tire that's going to pull the nail out, and at the same time you're visually watching the nail disappear, ready to put the screw right in there. First I'll get it to where it's close to coming out. So it can be real hard to get these out. So I can see it's just about to disappear there. So I'm ready to put the screw right where it's going to go. And I'm pulling. Okay, the screw just disappeared and I put the nail there. Now it's ready. And we just screw it through and we hope it comes out in the right spot. You just kind of go on faith here, and then screw it to where it's almost flush, and then I apply a little bit of pressure and try to make it kind of flush. But I hesitate to go real far because I'm concerned, the last thing you want to do is strip the threads. Then you flip it over and see what it looks like. And there's our new screw right there. And you can see it's longer than the other screws. There's another one over here. And the new one, not sure if I can get them in the same shot. They're both in by my fingers there. And you can see one is definitely longer than the other. And the reason, of course, is I haven't snipped it off. And I think I may end up not even snipping these new ones off, because they're kind of, the center of the tire is right here, and so they're kind of further out than this one was. And it might be all right to leave them, or if I do snip it off, I might just snip a little bit off. So normally I would go around and do all the screws first before I do the tape. But for the sake of this video, I'm going to do the tape right now. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape and cut it. And I think I'm going to make it long enough. I'm worried about that other plastic or that other tape not being strong enough. So I'm going to make it big enough to cover 2. So it's got to be about 2 inches long or so. So maybe about that long. Find the screw that you just put in and put tape over the head, and maybe the head of another one. Well, the tape's hardly long enough, but I guess it is. Okay, that's covering 2 screw heads there. So we've, oh, I didn't even have that in the camera, darn it. There's the tape. You can see one screw head is right there, the other one's right there, and the old tape underneath. I just left it there. I could have taken the old tape off, but I didn't. And that's the whole process. Then of course you do that 40 times per tire, or however many times you need to do it to fit whatever lugs you want to fit. And put the tube in, put it back on, and you're ready to roll on the ice.